What's going on, everybody? PGA Championship week. Let's go. Second major of the year, and it should be a fun one. So before we get started, hit that thumbs up button for me. We appreciate it a bunch. It helps us bring you these videos for free. If you want to try out RotoGrinders Premium, there's a link below. You can sign up for that. You get access to the expert survey, to my article, to my bets, to STL, GPP article. We have rankings. We have all kinds of stuff. And you also get to download this model that you see right in front of you. And you get to customize it to your liking. So we're going to go through all the different weights that you can customize the model with. And as a premium member, you can download it. You can play around with the weights, and then you can upload your own custom ratings into Lineup HQ to build lineups off of those ratings. Now, let's talk about this week's venue, Quail Hollow Golf Club. So this is a regular stop on the PGA Tour. Typically, when we have a major championship that's not at Augusta National, it's a new venue. It's one that we haven't seen in a while, but this one we are very familiar with. This hosts the Wells Fargo Championship each and every year, with the exception of 2022 when it hosted the the President's Cup, and then 2017 when it hosted the PGA Championship, which was won by Justin Thomas. So we have a lot of data to work with. We know what type of golfers have played well here in the past, and we kind of know what to look for. Now, the course is located in North Carolina, classical golf course, tree-lined fairways, fairly narrow fairways too. They're probably going to be difficult to hit on average. It's a par 71 that measures 7,626 yards, so they did add some length to three of the holes compared to what we saw at this course last year at the Wells Fargo Championship. And with the course being so long, with the emphasis on so many driver holes, that bombers are going to have an advantage here. That's just how it's going to be. Doesn't mean the shorter hitters can't contend, but they're going to have to do it through accuracy and long iron play. Going to be a lot of approach shots from at least 200 yards. Water's in play on 7 of the holes here. In terms of difficulty, we've seen this play as one of the top 10 most difficult courses on the PGA Tour in 3 of the last 4 years that the Wells Fargo Championship was held here. So it already plays difficult, and you add in the fact that it's a major. They've grown up the rough to 2.75 inches compared to 2 inches what they regularly play at. The fairways, again, pretty narrow, water hazards. The greens are very difficult to hit. They are pretty large, 6,600 square feet on average, but they are difficult to hit. Last year, the field only hit 56% of the greens, and so scrambling is going to be important. Stroke gain around the green is going to be important. Again, I think driving distance or carry distance is going to be important. Long iron play is going to be critical. Bogey avoidance, greens and regulation, and then we will get into some of the comps that I'm looking at. So let's quickly take a look at the model. I have 8% weight to off the tee, 5% to carry distance, 12% to stroke gain approach, 3% to green and regulation, 6% to around the green, only 6% to putting. Again, the tougher the course, the less important putting becomes, or at least like it's tougher for a guy to putt his way into contention at a major, at a difficult golf course. When you have these easy courses where everyone's hitting greens, everyone's hitting fairways, guys that putt well tend to go to the top of the leaderboard. When it comes to a difficult course like this, it's all about tee to green play. That doesn't mean you can putt badly and contend, but just raw stroke gain putting doesn't matter as much here as it would at another venue that's more of a birdie fest. Birdie or better at 3%, and then bogey avoidance at 6%. Course history here has been very predictive over the years. Again, you want to use Wells Fargo Championship course history if you are going to use that this week. So I have it over the last 3 times it's been held here, and then I also have it over the last 30 rounds. So that's technically up to, the last 7.5 tournaments, if they played that many. And then I also have it on a expected basis. So that kind of averages 3 different course history metrics that you can see here. I'll kind of unhide it here so you can see. So yeah, there's 3 different course history metrics, and then come up with a rating that takes the average of the 3s. So Rory McIlroy, number 1. Scotty Scheffler's never played here before. He did play in the President's Cup here in 2022. But he was pretty bad. He was paired up with Sam Burns that week. They only secured a half point. So even, I think he played 4 or 5 rounds of the sessions, and he had a half point, and they won that year. So I don't know what to do with Scheffler this week. He's obviously coming off of a huge win where he won by 8 strokes in Texas. But yeah, in terms of course history, guys that played the best here over the years: Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, who won here in 2017, Patrick Reed, Bryson DeChambeau, and then Xander Schauffele, who I do like this week as a tournament play. Let's look at strokes gained in majors over the last 4 years. You have Scheffler number 1, Rory 2, Xander 3, Morikawa 4, and Jon Rahm 5. Strokes gained on long and difficult courses. Rory number 1, Xander 2, Scheffler 3, Rahm 4, and Fleetwood 5. It's kind of nice to see Fleetwood rate out so well in both the course history and all the comps that I'm looking at. And then strokes gained on driver heavy courses. Similar names: Rory, Xander, Scotty, Tommy, and Bryson. Okay, you have your last 10 weeks. This doesn't actually go into the model. It is just for you to see how often golfers have been playing and how well they have done recently. Then you have the form and field strength. Again, I think it's a pretty good week to bump up the field strength index because we do have a lot of golfers that are from LIV, a lot of golfers that are from the European Tour. So I don't mind bumping that up a little bit. I have it at 8% right now. The form over the last 18 months, I have it at 0% because that is also accounted for in these 3 columns here. And these are more percentile finishes, kind of helps capture a little bit more upside. So I have this at 0%, but I do have the long-term form technically weighted at 14%. Over the last 3 months, I have it at 6%. Over the last 12 months, I have it at 5%. Let's get into the rating. So number 1 in the model this week, a bit surprising, Rory McIlroy over Scotty Scheffler. I haven't seen a week where Rory's been projected better than Scheffler in quite some time, at least in my model. And that largely has to do with the fact that he has the course history edge here. Scotty's got the slight stat edge, and then they're pretty much equal in the comps. Scotty's a little bit better in the top 5 and top 10 and top 25% percentile finishes. But yeah, the course history kind of bumps up Rory over Scheffler for me. And yeah, it's just hard to see. I don't know. So Rory's played here. I looked at his last 11 results at this course. He has 9 top 10s and 3 wins. Again, Scheffler's only played here at the President's Cup, didn't play particularly well that week. So that worries me enough. And you get the $1,200 discount. So I will take Rory over Scheffler this week. But I also like the spot for Xander. I don't think a lot of people are going to play him because the 3 guys at the top are, getting so much ownership: Rory, Scheffler, and Bryson. So I don't think a lot of people are going to play Xander. I know he hasn't had a great season, but he has finished in the top 20 in 4 straight events. He was T8 at the Masters. He's been awesome here. Runner-up finishes in each of the last 2 years at this event. The stat rating's good. All the comps are good. So I will be on Xander. I also bet him at 22-1. I think that's a pretty good price point for a guy that's won 2 of the last 4 majors. Then we have Jon Rahm, who continues to play pretty well. T14 at the Masters. He's been a top 10 machine on LIV. I think he's only won 1 tournament over there. Didn't play well here in 2021, but a guy that obviously has a good major track record, or good track record in majors. No strong take on Morikawa, so he's not a bomber. Kind of the shortest hitter of anyone that's expensive this week, but one of the best iron players. Pretty good short game. T16 here last year, so I'm fine with Morikawa. I don't know if he can win this week because I don't think he's long enough, but I do think he can post the top 10. I like Bryson. It's hard not to like Bryson. He played well here in his last appearance. He was coming off of a win in LIV on the LIV Tour. He was T5 at the Masters, so a guy that good course fit, good form, good course history. Hard not to like Bryson this week. Then we have Cantlay, who is my pick to win this week. It's hard to feel good about that pick because he's been so bad in the majors throughout his career, but he did contend at the U.S. Open last year. If you look at his recent results, he's gained so many strokes ball striking over his last 6 events. He's just been on fire. The around the green play has been a weakness for him this year, but historically he's very good around the greens, very good putter, and his game's trending in the right direction. So I really like the spot for Patrick Cantlay. I also like the spot for Tommy Fleetwood, another guy that's been a top 10 machine all year. Really good track record at Quail Hollow as well. 3 straight top 15 finishes. So for cash games, I really like these 2. They're also strong tournament plays as well because they can be your second man in. They could even be your third man in depending on what you do at the bottom of your roster, because we do have the 5K floor on DraftKings this week. Justin Thomas, he's won 2 PGA championships. One of them was here. He's playing some great golf. He won the RBC Heritage, came runner-up last week. And again, yeah, the course history is elite. So I do like the spot for JT. Corey Connor is one of my favorite point per dollar options on the board. I also bet him outright this week at 70-1. I just thought that price was too good. So my 3 outrights are guys that not a lot of people are betting. I like Xander at 22. I like Cantlay at 45, and then I like Connors at 70. So Connors is one of the better ball strikers in the field. We've seen it really come to life over the last couple months, and then he's got a couple top 15s at this event in the last 2 years. And what I like most about Connors is he's not known for his short game, right? That's kind of the worry that we have with him every week. But he's gained stroke gain with the short game in 6 of his last 8 starts. So if he can be positive in, around the green and putting, I really like his chances to post top 10 and maybe even more this week at 8,300. Neiman been playing pretty well. He had a win a few weeks ago on Live. Outside of that, he hasn't been great recently, but I think he had a win earlier this year on Live too. A guy that's probably going to get overlooked at 9,600. Terrell Hatton, I do like quite a bit. He's just so consistent. He does everything well. He was third here in 2023 at the Wells Fargo Championship, a guy that I'm certainly fine using in all formats. I worry about Henley's distance, but yeah, T10 here last year, T46 last week on a better course fit for him. I don't have a strong take on Henley. I could see him playing well, but yeah, he's going to have a lot of long iron approaches this week. Hideki's been playing a little bit better of late. T17 last week. The putter's just been really cold, and the driver hasn't been very good. That kind of worries me. Lowry doesn't have a very good track record here. That kind of worries me coming off of a disappointing finish on Sunday. At the Truist Championship, I had now right on him at 35-1, so I was certainly rooting for him on Sunday. Didn't come through with that. Ludwig's just been pretty bad, and he's so expensive that I'm fine fading him in all formats. Keegan projects really well for me. His tee to green game's been awesome. He's gained at least 6 strokes tee to green, I think in 4 of his last 6 events. And if you look at his course history, top 35 each of his last 3 trips here. So give me all the Keegan at 7,200. Then we have Keith Mitchell. I typically advocate for fading the cheap chalk in PGA DFS because this is such a volatile sport. But man, Keith Mitchell, if you count the team event, he has 5 straight top 20 finishes. He's a bomber off the tee, very good approach player, hits a ton of greens in regulation. The short game can be spotty, but man, he's got 2 top 10s at this event. I just have a hard time fading him at 6,200. Typically, I like to fade the chalk when a guy is overpriced or overowned. But when a guy's underpriced and overowned, I'm okay with it. Or if a guy is, overpriced and underowned, then I'm okay with it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel good about Mitchell this week at 6,200. Sung Jae's irons have been really bad, but the rest of his game's been pretty good recently. I worry about Hovland's short game here. Patrick Reed's been playing great on Live. He was T3 at the Masters. He's got a good track record here. So I do like Patrick Reed a lot at 8,100. Aaron Rise, kind of the cheaper version of Russell Henley. So if I'm going to target one of those shorter guys, I'd probably just rather play Aaron Rise. Berger's been playing great. No issue with him whatsoever. Going to be fading Spieth. Going to be fading Brooks. Tony Finau was a little bit better last week with the T15. He's a guy that I think can make the cut at 7,400, but I just don't know what his upside is right now. Straka coming off of the win, continues to play some great golf. I do like David Puig, I think I can't remember how to say it. But he's a bomber that's been playing on Live for the last couple of years. A lot of top 20 finishes over there. So I don't mind looking at him at 6,500. Siwoo Kim, not a long hitter by any means, but he did play pretty well here at the President's Cup. And I think he's got, a couple made cuts here over the last couple of years. Don't think it's a great course fit for Cam Smith. I'll fade him. Pendrit's been in pretty bad form, so I'll fade him. Rasmus Nørgaard Peterson. So I was looking at his stats today. He's top 20 on the DP World Tour in approach and off the tee. He's been awesome. Finishes of 2nd, 10th, 4th. And some of those are in some decent fields. So love him at 6,100. He's got plenty of distance off the tee. No strong take on these guys. Minwoo Lee feels overpriced. Michael Kim projects well, but he did have to withdraw last week. Wyndham Clark's won here before. Don't think a lot of people are going to play him at 8,500. Dean Burmeister, very long hitter if you want to take the bomber route. Same goes for Benny On. See if there's anybody else before we get out of here. Adam Scott's probably a good bet to make the cut at 6,900. I do like Harris English quite a bit at 6,800. He's been playing some good golf. He's 3 for 3 at this event in the last 3 years. Tends to play these difficult courses pretty well. Mackenzie Hughes, this is a home course for him. Playing some good golf. So he's T10, T3, and then runner-up at the Myrtle Beach Classic. He was T6 here last year. And again, this is his home course, so he knows it very well. Norgard Mahler, another guy that very long off the tee. We've seen him a little bit more on the PGA Tour than we have Niergaard Peterson. But another one of those guys, yeah, he's a bomber off the tee. And he's a pretty good putter. So I don't mind looking at him at 5,400. Again, yeah, 57th in the model for 5,400. Sign me up for that. Sam Stevens, plenty of distance off the tee. Kevin Yu, plenty of distance off the tee. Patrick Rogers has some good results on driver-heavy courses. And that should just about do it for me. So I want to say thank you to everyone for watching these videos. Again, hit the thumbs up button if you don't mind. Best of luck this week. I'm hoping to hit one of my outrights and hoping to have a good week of DFS as well. Good luck, everybody. See you next week.